All right, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. In today's tutorial video, I'm going to show you how you could take advantage of negative space in your logo builds or even creating an iconography set inside of Adobe Illustrator. The big thing is when you're making a three-color representation, so black and white, reverse that, and then your color version, is that your black and white and reverse colorways need to have what is truly known as positive and negative space. So don't think of them as colors, right? Black and white. Think of them as just completely transparent or completely solid. And the reason being is because depending on the application, think of like a stencil, where the paint would spray on a stencil. Every place that's transparent, paint's going to go through. Every place that's a solid, it won't go through. So let me show you what I mean. On screen right here, I have this icon, and I'm building an icon set for a new mobile application. It's a new music player, and it's Fox themed. So I have a play button and a foxtail. I drew all these elements out. Now, it looks good on the white background, don't get me wrong, but check it out. If I take this artwork, move it to the left, aha. So, first of all, I got some crazy strokes going on, number one. Number two is that look at the foxtail details. That right there is actually, it's got a color, it's got white. So it's not truly transparent. So if I were to use this, say, as a stencil, right, none of those details would actually go through. It would be completely just a solid tail. So it would lose a lot of the fidelity of what the representation of the fur accents, essentially. So today, I'm going to show you how we can rebuild this thing, and not only just rebuild it, but take advantage of using true positive, true negative space, using things like the shape builder tool, and we're going to strive to stay away from strokes. Strokes can be great, but especially if you're building, say, any kind of like icon or logo, black and white, it's best to avoid them. So I'm going to go ahead and just take the whole artwork and move it to the artboard for reference. And like I said earlier, I did draw the actual triangle. In this case, for this one, I'm going to take advantage of the polygon tool. I'm going to make a triangle, and here's a cool tip and trick. If you use the up and down arrow keys on your keyboard, that'll increase or decrease the sides. I'm going to hold down Shift to make it nicely perpendicular, and there we go. There's our triangle. Now what I'm going to do is also increase the stroke to about 10 points. And I'm going to rotate the triangle about 30 degrees. Well, exactly 30 degrees, because that right there will give us our universal play symbol. Now, what's cool about, especially when you use like the polygon, or if you rectangles, any closed shape, you'll have these little circles essentially underneath the anchor points. That's what's known as the corner widget. And if I click on that little circle right there, this guy right here, click, hold, and drag, I drag back, I actually can round out those sharp edges. And it does all the sides in tandem. And there we have it. That looks pretty good. Maybe I'll just take it a tad smaller, the whole triangle. Okay, great. Now for the tail, it's only two shapes. I drew out the inside of the tail and the outside. So I'm going to take this, and I'm just going to move it. I'm going to take it, make sure it's above the triangle, and just kind of line it up where I want it. Yeah, that should do fine. The next thing I'll do is I'm going to take my rectangle tool, and I'm going to just essentially make a rectangle, a shape. I'm going to even just give it a little bit of color and rotate it. And the idea is, since I'm going to be using the shape builder tool, I just want this to kind of cover the edges of the tail with. So it'll look like the tail is just like coming out of the play button and it's just not on top of it. Something like that should work. And then what I'll do is I'll create another rectangle, kind of at the beginning, edge to edge, tail width, just like that. Now what I'll do is I'm going to just take this tail, and I'm just going to move it away for now to show you what we're working with. So you can see we have three shapes. The problem is I could take my selection tool, select everything. I can grab my shape builder tool, and let's say I want to cut out this portion right here so the tail can freely flow out of the play button. Watch what happens. Hold down Alt, that's going to be your subtraction, and I'm going to subtract this shape. Aha! Why didn't it do it? Is because that triangle has a stroke, and that stroke's got to go somewhere. So yes, it did cut out the rectangle, but unfortunately, a stroke is not a shape, so it has to go somewhere. I'm going to undo that real fast. Here's the trick. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to isolate and select just the triangle. What I'm going to do is go up to Object in my menu system here, and I'm going to find where it says Expand. Now, when the Expand menu comes up, you got two options, Fill, Stroke, at least for this case. I'm going to select both of them and hit Enter, or you can click on OK. What that did right there was it essentially made both the fill and the stroke their own separate shape. So if I just isolate the stroke now, and I'm just going to show you for demonstration, you can see that there are anchor points on the inside and the outside of the stroke. It's an actual shape now. So there's no stroke on it. You can see from the toolbar right here, there's no stroke, all fill. It is a shape. So now, with that, I'll select everything. And what I'll do is I'll take the shape builder tool again. And now look at this. Because those are separate shapes right there, right? I can now subtract, hold down Alt, take away that rectangle, and everything's gone. Boom, just like that. And I'll do the exact same thing for this side. And now what we have here is truly a cutout negative space. And if I actually confirm this for you, you can see right there, it's actually cut out. And now what I can do is just take the shape builder tool and cut out the fill, just like that. Okay, so we're doing good here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my tail, and I'm just going to try to line it up to where I want it. Maybe something like that. Great. Now what I'll do is, because these are just two shapes right here, I'm just going to take my direct selection tool and just kind of line up the anchor points where I need them by double clicking the anchor point and dragging. I'll take this side, move it up, just kind of connect it, just like that. Very cool. Now we have that simulated tail that's coming from in to out of the play button, but still got one issue, and then that's that fur accent, those fur details. So I'm just going to make sure everything's selected, take my shape builder tool once again, and I'm just going to, because that is a separate shape, I'm just going to hold down Alt, just like we did for the triangle, the fill. I'm just going to click one time, and then what that's going to give me is a true transparent, a true cutout right there. Now, if I need to make my reverse colorway, I could just make a copy of this. And I can go up to Edit, Edit Colors, and then just click on where it says Invert Colors. And there we go. Truly, truly positive and negative space, black and white, and reverse. And it's just as simple as that. And there's so many variations you can do when using the shape builder tool. The key is to expand things that have a stroke, because that will make it a independent, separate shape that you can cut out other shapes on top of it to create some really cool effects. I can't wait to see what y'all are creating. And please, if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. And I'll see you in the next one.